If you ever need to take a break, because I want you to get the most out of this training. So chapter 2, we're going to map out FCS estimate. How does it work? How does it lay out? Pretty critical stuff. So everything starts off with roof systems, okay? So roof systems might be EPDM, mechanically attached TPO. No, actually that's not right. Okay, roof systems are the pure systems themselves, which is EPDM, TPO, PVC, not mechanically fastened PVC. Okay, that is something that you build inside of templates. Okay, so the roof systems are the primary products, and we'll start with just TPO. So what's inside of a TPO roof system inside of FCS estimate? Well, there's material types. There's different types of materials for every TPO installation, regardless of whether it's mechanically fastened, fully adhered, or whatever it is. We need to have all of the types that are required to be able to do any of those installations. So some of the material types might be insulation. Some of them might be membrane, but they're not going to be the specific membrane. Okay? We're looking for membrane as a type, not the specific membrane. 45 mil EPDM isn't a type. It's actually a specific material. Okay? Membrane is a type of material. So when we get into the materials, we'd hit that little drop-down box, bonk, and we would end up with the actual materials. That's where we get the 45 mil TPO. That's where we get the actual detail. All right? So all of those exist inside of the material types. So let's fold that back up. And membrane gets plugged in inside a TPO because that's one of the roof system types, or material types, sorry, that you need inside of a roof system. What other things do you need? Raise your hand, right? Membrane, insulation, we need some fasteners. We need some bonding, we need some pipe boots. We need all that good stuff. So our basic hierarchy is roof systems, right? We got the roof systems, that's that TPO. Inside of that, we've got material types, which is that membrane, the insulation, the fasteners, and the bonding. And then we've got the actual materials, which are going to be tucked into those material types. Make sense? Good. So the way that we arrive at the actual quantities of these materials is through what we call field conditions. Now, field conditions are the different things that you encounter on the roof that are going to require labor and that are going to require materials. So the first would be, say, roof area. So what's roof area going to determine, guys? How much membrane and how much insulation. It's going to determine how many fasteners. It's going to determine how much bonding. Next is curb flashing. Curb flashing is going to determine how much curb flashing material we're going to need, how much curb flashing labor. Soil stacks will tell us how many pipe boots. Wall flashing will tell us how much membrane, how much bonding, and all the other things that we need to flash walls. Okay, so really the key that we're trying to remember here is the hierarchy of the FCS estimate system is we've got our roof systems. Inside of our roof systems are the material types that are required to be able to build those roof systems, and inside of those material types are the actual materials. So as we get into chapter 3, we're going to share with you a tool which is called a system worksheet that's going to allow you to be able to organize all of those different components in a simple Excel environment before we start to load them into the system, so that we can make sure that we have a roadmap that makes sense before we get into a bunch of setup of the system. And after that, we're going to work through some actual workflows of creating some roof systems. Then we're going to actually build some templates. All right, so makes sense? Was that a pretty good review? Remember what we're focusing on: roof systems, the material types inside them, and the actual materials.